We have come to find out that the gaslighters of this realm tell us that Earth is a school. It's a place of learning and growing. And they may actually be right about that. They may be actually telling us the truth. What is a school? A school is basically an indoctrination camp for your mind to enslave you from a young age to believe in nonsense, to believe in falsities and lies, so that after you graduate, you have become an official mindless zombie to the rulers who wish to keep you dumb and blind and imprisoned in their system. And that's quite similar to the school of Earth. We come down here blind and ignorant, and then they teach us what it's like to be a human, to give our power away to authorities. Our whole life we are under an illusion and deception. And once we get out of this school, we're out into the great beyond. And just like the school of this realm, once you get out, they haven't taught you a single thing about anything. You have to learn it as you go. And once you're out of your body in the astral, you didn't learn anything. They didn't teach you nothing about that. It's like all that was for nothing. What was that for? But now you've learned how to be submissive. You've learned how to give your authority away to others that you believe have a higher standing than you, who know more than you. And so you will blindly be obedient to their commands, just like you were to the teachers, to the politicians, to your parents, to anyone and everyone that had an illusion of power and knowledge over yourself. And that is what we've learned in this life, to overly identify with this human meat suit in all of its frailty, in all of its powerlessness. We come back over and over and over until it gets beat into our minds that we are powerless, that we need a leader, that we can't be trusted. And we'll come back as long as it takes. As long as it takes. If you want someone to rule over you, you have to destroy their free will. And by the time you leave school, obedience is all you know. School erases your identity and pumps out mindless, submissive slaves. And isn't that true about Earth School? How many near-death experiences have you heard that as soon as they're out of this school, they're mindless, obedient slaves to the school masters, the ones who have authority over you, that you have been led to believe? There's a quote, I can't remember who said it, but it goes, "Education should aim at destroying free will, so that after pupils have left school, they shall be incapable throughout the rest of their lives of thinking or acting otherwise than as their schoolmasters would have wished." And you can replace schoolmasters with archons, with demons, devils, Satan, Lucifer, whoever you want to pick, the evil that runs this place. We are being constantly recycled back in here until we get it through our head that we are to be submissive, mindless slaves to this God, this realm, and quit rebelling. Quit rebelling. Just follow orders. Just be a good little people and learn, and overly identify with your flesh, with the material realm, and believe that you must have evil to experience good. You must have good and bad. You must have duality in order to appreciate anything. You can't learn without suffering. And the longer you're in this education camp, this prison that is conditioning your spirit and your mind. Education equals conditioning. Schools are prisons for your minds. Earth School is a prison for your spirit, and it's to mold you into a demon. It teaches us to keep their hell world running. Perhaps we become archons, helping to keep their hell realm running because we have been so brainwashed to believe it's a good place of learning for the spirit. Or we just become so corrupt and evil, we enjoy causing suffering and having power over others. Condition them to be exactly who you want them to be and decide how they see the world. Scared, fearful, obedient. Condition them to accept mediocrity and evil. They educate us to their standards. They educate us to believe we can't have good without evil. Suffering helps you grow. You can't truly appreciate the beauty without experiencing the ugly. We need to go through bad times to truly appreciate the good times. Good and bad gives life contrast. All the years of schooling, and we came out not knowing even the basic fundamentals of how to survive in this world and outside. You have more gaslighters of this realm saying that we are here to learn about love, to experience love, to express love. It's all about love. Well, love is a strong, heavy desire and attachment to this human experience. And love backwards is evil, which means anything that causes injury, anything that harms or is likely to harm, a malady or disease, conduct contrary to the standards of morals or righteousness. So we are in this earth school to learn how to be obedient slaves to the rulers above us. We're to learn how to overly identify with our bodies, to overly identify with our desires that come from our bodies, and to feel completely helpless and vulnerable to the elements of this world that we are forced into. Our own basic needs and desires are not even met, and we have to come up with meeting them ourselves. We have to have food, water, air, clothing, shelter, all of that. And we have to fight and struggle for survival in this place. We are constantly in a state of lack and need. And we can't help but have desires because these desires alleviate our suffering. But at the same time, it causes our suffering. So we're in this endless cycle of abuse. And we get so wrapped up and swirled up and rolled around in this thing. And it's just normalized. It's normalized to us. So in this school, we are being subjected to normalize abusive behaviors and call it life, call it normal. It's normal to have to constantly feed yourself. It's normal to constantly have to feed yourself off of other life forms. Of course, where we come from, we don't need anything. We don't need to eat. So we cannot be manipulated into believing that consuming others' life forms is a necessary act. No, we are forced to believe consuming others' life energy is a necessary act because we need it for our own survival in this place. And that is a lesson that this school teaches us. It's okay to feed off of lower life forms as long as it makes us happy, as long as it satisfies our hunger and satisfies our needs of the body. It's okay. So we go through our whole life with this lesson that this school has taught us. That's how life works. You can imprison other life forms for the sole purpose of feeding off of them. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that what they're doing to us? So this school is teaching us that that's okay. That's just a normal part of life. Another thing the school teaches us is that we are weak and vulnerable and need outside help. This school is teaching us to enjoy our slavery, to be, I'm trying to talk about this and I'm just getting so much interference, and it's just like, it makes me just want to stop. It makes me just want to stop talking. And this is another thing that this school teaches us, is that we don't know what we're talking about, that we don't know anything, that we should just shut up and let other people who know more speak on these topics, because we don't have any power of ourselves. And we've been beat down our entire lives to think this. And when we're faced with hard things, we just want to give up because this life is hard and we've been conditioned to do that. So I'm just going to keep talking because I'm not going to give in to this evil, despicable energy that's being cast my way, because I'm deciding to speak out about this place. I'm deciding to speak out about this rotten, cruel, despicable realm. And for doing that, I get punished because I'm just a slave and I have no right to speak out. My own mind programming is going into overdrive. It's putting up all the blocks, all the security features that this realm has implanted into our subconscious. We have lots in our minds and we're chained. And there's security protocols that have been enacted each and every time we fall out of line. And that's why we have to go off script. We have to go off script and allow ourselves to be the free, sovereign beings that we know we are. And each time that we do this, we get smacked down by the body, by the mind prison, by the mind viruses and the mind entities that ensure that we don't have the willpower to do these things. But I say, fuck them and fuck this place. And I am going to speak through this and past this until I get to a point where I feel and I know that I have free will to speak just how I want to speak without any interference coming from these parasites. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. It's a really hard thing to do when every moment of your life you're being subjected to manipulation and steering off course of what you actually, I don't want to say desire, because desire is a form of not having something, which, yes, they want us to feel like we don't have anything. So we have to constantly be desiring things outside of ourselves. I know that I possess all of these things that they want us to believe they stole from us. And perhaps where we are now in this state, it feels as if these things have been stolen from us. And rightfully so. And we experience our entire lives, most of us not even knowing what has been stolen from us. But if you actually think about it, it's not stolen from us. It is being kept from us. It's like if they shackled your leg to a prison bar and they tightened it so hard that you could not walk. Now, have they stolen? I'm not even going to say that. So basically, we've been layered with so much mind programming and deception and illusions that, and the programs of the desires of the body and of survival and all of these things, that it appears as if they have stolen everything, our own natural faculties, our own natural let's just call them psychic abilities, for lack of a better term. But we still have them within us. It's like a muscle that has not been used and it's atrophied. And a lot of times we don't even know how to use them. It's like we've forgotten what it's like to actually be us. So it's in there somewhere, but how do you access it? How do you get to it? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to get to there. But this school is trying its hardest to beat us back into submission. Every day and every moment we are here, they're lessons on how to be less than. It's like every day it's a constant battle to fight through these things, because it's so easy to fall back into the slave thinking. I mean, these things don't even have the proper words. I don't even have the proper words and the proper terms for these things, because this place has made me an idiot. It's not my fault. It wants you to think it's your fault. It wants you to think you're dumb, because this place has dumbed you down. But they've stuffed you in this body. They've stuffed you with a brain that limits everything that you are, all of your capabilities. And then on top of that, your whole life you've been subjected to trauma and programming so heavily that you don't even realize all of it. So here we are, stuck in this school prison, wanting to get out. And of course they have, so I'm talking about, it's just really hard. It's really hard. They've really done a number on my thinking and my cognitive abilities, because I am a slave to my own brain and how it functions. I am not free to do what I want, how I want, when I want. I have to constantly fight and battle with the enemy inside. The enemy inside is my own brain and the toxic mind parasites and the programming that are always at war with me. Always. Every moment of every day, trying to bring me back into submission. And the further I break away from these things, the harder it fights back. And it may let me believe that I'm winning for a time, but it's very insidious. It'll creep back up without a sound until you don't even realize that you're back in your old way of thinking about things sometimes. It's that insidious that it pretends to be you. It's a clone, a mimic of who you really are. A bad copy. Not even close, but it wants you to think it's you. So you don't even fight it because you think it is you. And then you realize, oh, this isn't me. This is this fucking thing again. And then the battle's on. But why do we have to battle this thing? Can we just be neutral about it? Can we just say, oh, there it is? Perhaps we have to put our own twist on this school, and we have to learn or relearn how to do all these things. Yeah, so Earth is a school, which means Earth is a prison for your mind and for your spirit. It's teaching you how to be a demon. This place is a school, and it teaches you how to become a demon, how to be evil. And a lot of times, evil doesn't appear to be evil on the surface, and that's how evil gets away with a lot of things. Just like nature. Nature on the outside looks so beautiful and so put together and so wonderful. But the more you get closer to this evil and you're not projecting your own goodness onto it, you soon realize that this apparent beautiful thing, this good thing, is like a trauma bonded relationship where, okay, yeah, there's water here, but you will also drown in it. Oh, there's sun here, but it'll also burn you. Oh, there's a beautiful meadow, but you'll get ticks and fleas and get diseases from these things. Oh, everything's eating each other. I mean, it's just, that's evil. So you're learning the lesson of evil's permissible. These things are permissible as long as they look good and they can easily manipulate you. Yes, see? So you're learning that it's okay to look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside be rotten to the core. And that's how we learn to survive in this world too. A lot of people put on masks and they outwardly appear to be good, but on the inside they're rotten to the core, because that is how the world works. And in order to make it in this world, the fastest way and easiest way is to be rotten on the outside, rotten on the inside, but good looking on the outside. And that's what nature does. And that's where we learn that from. Yeah. Another lesson that this evil realm teaches us is that it's okay to let people suffer because of their own actions. And by that I mean actions that actually weren't their own fault. Being subjected to trauma your entire life, and then having to deal with the negative side effects, the psychological torment, emotional torment, to where it just drives you insane. Hey, that's your fault. Don't blame the creator for this. It's all your fault. Because you should have healed all that. You should have done this, you should have done that. But isn't that blaming the victim of a cruel joke of a world? I'm not saying any kind of abuse is permissible. All I'm saying is we like to blame the victims of this place rather than the place itself. I'm just sick of all this, sick of it all. Because even that, you still gotta blame God for that. By God, I mean whoever created this place, whatever created this place. It could be multiple different things. It doesn't have to be one singular creator. It could be a whole gang of bastards. The rulers of this place. Just like we have rulers here, there's manifestations of the rulers up there. It works exactly the same down here than it does up there. There's the illusion of love here, and that they're working for us, because why would we accept anything other than that? If they came out and didn't have that mask, it's like, okay, we know they're bad, we know they're not serving us, but we have the illusion of free will and like, oh, we chose this person, so we'll choose a different person next time. And that's what slaves think. Yeah, this is all over the place, but you know what? It's just the ramblings of a madman. This will make sense to those it's supposed to make sense to. To those it doesn't make sense to, then that's totally okay. So yeah, so love is a weapon, because love is an attachment, and they want us to love this realm. And they say we're here to learn about love, which means we're here to learn about attachment and possession and fulfilling the desires of the human body and all that goes along with that. This world creates attachments through your desires, and you are forced to have desires and must work diligently to overcome these desires, which you never really can overcome these desires because it's ingrained into the human experience itself. Desire is a craving or a yearning, an emotion directed toward attainment or possession of an object. It's sensual appetite, physical desire, lust. Well, they say lust of the flesh. You must reject the lust of the flesh. But that is the whole point of being in this world, is to have lustful desires about anything and everything. I mean, that's what nature does. And that's what this realm and society actually operates on, but they tell us something different. They tell us, no, we don't act on those. We act for the good of everybody. Hey, everything's fair and balanced here. Like, we're selling you what you desire and what you want, but we actually hide poisons and toxins in anything and everything. Not just foods, but even in entertainment and literature. It's all designed. You're the prey, and the predator's out there. Yeah, so it's just what I do all day. Just think. Go around and around and around, just like this. Just like how they want us to be, chasing our own tail with everything. I mean, I think it's good to just talk to yourself and let your thoughts go. Just let them go. It doesn't have to be coherent, or it doesn't have to have a straight line of related things. I mean, all of these things are related, so this just helps me process it all. It's like it's like journaling out loud and just writing whatever comes to your mind. So I'm just speaking about whatever comes to my mind. And that's me fighting against the mind program which is within me. It's because it wants you to have to think and formulate and process through its filter on what's acceptable and not acceptable, on how to speak correctly and how to not speak correctly. And I'm just bypassing all of that because I'm allowing my spirit to come through, because my spirit doesn't need language or need time to reflect or talk. It is what it is, and it knows what it knows, and there's nothing that is a lie or deception in it. So if I can just let that come out, I will be speaking the truth. And a lot of times it's hard to speak the truth because the truth hurts. The truth hurts not only you, but others around you, because we're all living in a delusion, la land. And we want to hold on to these deceptions because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel good about what we're doing and how we're living and holding on to the attachments of this place. And we don't want to hear the truth because the truth, it shatters the lies that we are believing. And a lot of times we know they're lies, but we're still holding on to them. So the truth can come off as mean. It doesn't mean that you should be mean about it. And as the saying goes, don't throw your pearls before swine. I mean, you know when and where to say certain things. People just can't handle the truth. But if everyone spoke the truth at every single moment of time, this place would be a whole lot different. This place would be shaken up, because the truth demands you to be authentic. Always. Lies demand you to be inauthentic. So that may be why we're all running scripts and pretending to be these actors in this dumb play that we call life. Every moment we're acting, especially when we're around other people, and we're just playing our part. Hey, how you doing? Oh, doing good. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm just walking around being a normal human being. I'm going to go buy some groceries because I got to eat. Hey, there's nothing wrong with this. Oh, cool. You want to catch up later tonight? Have a drink? Yeah, might as well. I mean, we got to fill our mouth with something, right? Yeah, you want to pee after that too? Yeah, we got to pee. Isn't this all just a little fucking stupid to you? Why are we doing all this? Why is it so hard to speak the truth? Why is it so hard to be authentic? Because they've conditioned the truth to be crazy talk. They've conditioned the truth to be harmful and hurtful. And they've conditioned us to accept our play, our act, our part in life. Well, this actor has just run out of lines to say. I mean, I could just keep talking, but I don't know. Is anyone even still listening? Because it went from one thing to another. If I had someone to talk to, I could like bounce ideas off of. But since it's just me, it's just hard to do that. So this is what you get. A lot of this, a lot of that. Anyways, well, yeah. These are just the ramblings of a madman.